This short talk is something about the 15 principles with which we have designed the human resource function or human resource system in the year 1975 itself with Larsen and Toubro. I am reading out the opening paragraph from this book, Consulting Report of Larsen and Toubro. It says, very little systematic attention has been given to the designing of human resource system. In the absence of systematic attention to various aspects, HRS may not be able to serve effectively the various purposes for which it was set up. So far, the urgent but not necessarily the most important problems have been attended to in HRS, and that is statutory requirements of industrial relations and appointments, promotions, and salary administration, etc., for various purposes and for various personnel in the company. The designing of HRS would require attention to other aspects, and we therefore propose the following 15 principles, actually 14 principles for designing HRS in any company. The first principle obviously is the opening paragraph. Therefore, the second principle, or you may now call it the first principle, is on focusing of enabling capabilities. This is the principle. This principle explains the main focus of HRS should be to help the company increase what may be called as enabling capabilities. Now, what are these enabling capabilities? We explained at the time. So, the purpose of HR is to build enabling capabilities in the company, which include development of human resources in the company, development of total organizational health, improvements in problem-solving capability of the company, developing diagnostic abilities so that the problems in the organizations can be quickly, timely, and effectively located, and solutions attempted without dependence, and developing a healthy open system so that maximum commitment of the employees can be obtained. HRS in this sense becomes an important system underpinning various other functions and strengthening them through its programming. I like to give short talks on each one of these principles. Now, the first one is on focusing on enabling capabilities. Now, in this principle, it is very clear the purpose of HRS is to create organizational health, number one. And number two, to create through a participative process, which is implied in the statements that are made, through a participative process, employees to develop their own capability to diagnose the problems, solve the problems, take themselves, that is the human resources development, and the organization forward. In all the principles you will find, we are constantly talking of the significance of human resources and its focus on building capabilities. Subsequently, we will be talking about what HRD means. HRD means developing individual as an individual, developing individual in relation to the role, developing individual in relation to the role, which means for the current performance as well as for the future requirements. Developing the role itself, that is something which we talked of. That means it's not only that people get developed to match the role, but people also develop to change the role so that they can constantly be work redesigned and uplifting of the capabilities. If for some reason organizations are not able to provide required promotion system or organizational structure or opportunities for growth at the top, people occupying their own roles at a given point of time should be able to enrich these kind of roles and so on. So that is the purpose of this entire principle. Focus on enabling capabilities of individuals through problem solving and developing the organizational health and so on. This is one of the principles. Now, if you look at in the current HR scenario, HR manager should have this as one of the primary objectives of his kind of function. that constantly search how am I going to build human capital, that is human resource development, how do I build the organizational health, that is happiness at work, and number three, how do I constantly prepare people to develop their own problem solving capabilities and their own diagnostic kind of a skills and so on. So this is a very important and interesting kind of a principle. So this is the HR functions primary kind of a purpose. This is principle number one. We can discuss any questions or issues you have. We will discuss the principle number two in the next session. Okay, so I hope you will attend these 14 sessions, all short sessions, and get something out of this. All the best.